Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it's time for me to welcome you back to yet another FIFA 17 ratings predictions video. And today, of course, we are running down the Barclays Premier League table, and today we sit with 5th place in the BPL, and that is Manchester United, who for all the slack they were given, did, to be fair, have an alright season. At the end of the day, they did win the FA Cup, they won a trophy, and 5th is better than Liverpool, so I mean they've got that going for them, but in terms of ethic and play style it was very dull and not really what United should be hoping for. I'm going to try and incorporate a new signing into this as well, Eric Bailly, who's of course signed for United recently, but again, if you could smash like 100 likes on this video, that'd be massively appreciated. And you guys know the format by now. We'll go through the starting 11, show the prediction that I'm giving them, and that in comparison in terms of growth from the last FIFA, and also their career mode potential that I'm going to predict for them in FIFA 17. Then you'll see the squad as how I've predicted it in comparison to the overall squad as it was at the start of FIFA 16. So all the growth now, the growth indicator you'll see is from the start of FIFA 16, or the first time they're in FIFA 16, not from their January update anymore. Just to clear that one up. Nevertheless, though, it's now time to get into the first prediction, and that, of course, is the goalkeeper, and that is David De Gea, who once again has had an incredible season. Again, getting the team of the season. Not quite as amazing worldly saves-wise as he was the season before, but still very, very solid. And I think he is the best goalie in the league, to be honest with you. So I made sure, in terms of my prediction, that he is. So I've given him a +1 upgrade from 86 to 87, and then potential to grow by one more in career mode. Though realistically, if he was 87 at like 23 years of age, he's probably got potential to get to like 90. Potential, though, is very vague. It can very much differ between players, but I've personally given him 88 potential and a starting overall of 87, which is +1 from his card last year at the start of FIFA 16. After that, though, slightly more boring, Matteo Damiano. I realise hasn't played at right back for the majority of the season because of injury issues, so I'm guessing he's going to have the injury-prone trait next year. But I've left him at 81. He was 81 at the start of FIFA 16. I've left him at 81 with a potential of 81 because he's about 28 now, 27, something like that. He's been quite injury prone, but when he has played he's been decent, especially in the first half of the season. Not so great when he came back from the injury, but before he got injured he was fantastic, and he scored a decent goal as well. I think he scored a few other goals as well for the club. So, but I've left him at 81. After that, though, it starts to get juicy, because we've got the first of the centre-backs, and this is Chris Smalling, who was 79 at the start of FIFA 16. I've given him a +5 upgrade from the start of FIFA 16 to 84. Now, it's worth noting he did actually have an 82 card in the January update, so in reality I've given him a +2 upgrade from the middle of the season. But I can't remember if he got a team of the season. He should have done if he didn't, but he was very, very, very good this season. Probably one of the best, probably the best centre-back, English centre-back in the Premier League this season. So I've given him an 84 rating. You guys might decide that he's only 83 or he should only get an 83 rating. If that's the case, drop any qualms in the comment section and I'd be happy to read them in terms of disagreements when it comes to players' ratings. After that, though, is another centre-back, although someone who isn't traditionally a centre-back has been playing there because Louis van Gaal just literally does what he wants, and that's Daley Blind, who was 80 overall and a CDM at the start of this FIFA. I've given him a +1 upgrade because I think defensively, in terms of playing in positions where he probably shouldn't be playing, he's impressed me. He's done all right, not as well as Smalling. That's why he hasn't got as good an upgrade as Smalling, but I thought he deserves an upgrade, so I've given him +1 from 80 to 81, and then a potential of 81 as well, because he's probably not going to grow in career mode. After that, someone who is going to grow in career mode probably, that is Luke Shaw, who's unfortunately again been out with injury from the majority of the season. He was 77 last FIFA. I've given him a +2 upgrade to 79. Nothing major, nothing into the 80s, because that would be a bit optimistic given he's not played that much this season. But when he has played, he's been very good, and just generally, he's a hot prospect. So EA should technically really be giving him upgrades just because, well, not just because of this, but also because of performances, but also because he's naturally getting better anyway. So I've given him a +2 from 77 to 79, and then also a potential of 86 in career mode, which I think is what he has in FIFA 16. After that, though, is a downgrade, and it's Bastian Schweinsteiger, who hasn't played the majority of the season in terms of getting into the squad. It's been by far his, well, not one of his best seasons, put it that way. He was 86 at the start of FIFA 16. I've downgraded him by 1 to 85 with the potential of 85, obviously, because he's well into his 30s. It's a bit of a shame because I love Schweinsteiger, but he's not been fantastic this season. Been better for Germany, but not too good for United. Then after that, someone who's staying completely the same, and that is Juan Mata, who was 84 in FIFA 16. I've left him, in terms of prediction, at 84 as well for FIFA 17, with a predicted potential of being the same, because he's kind of old as far as footballers go in terms of potential. He's had an alright season, nothing major, nothing terrible, so that's why I've left him at 84. Scored a nice free kick though against Watford, that was very nice. After that though, we've probably got the most controversial one, and this is Memphis Depay. Now, a lot of you in the comment section of the Manchester City predictions video were saying I should have downgraded Raheem Sterling. So when I thought about that, and when it got to United, I was like, well, Memphis Depay has been 10 times worse than Raheem Sterling this season, so I sort of have to give him a downgrade based on that. He had 2 good games against Bruges in the Champions League qualifying stages, and then also against Midtjylland in the Europa League, but apart from that, he's been very, very anonymous for the club. I'm sure he'll get better next season, because I don't think Louis van Gaal really liked him too much, but hopefully he does. I do like Depay as a player, even though he plays for United. He was 81 though, of course, at the start of FIFA 16. I've downgraded him by 1 to 80, but given him still a high potential for you Carimo guys, including myself, of 86, because he's still pretty young. So the potential to grow by 6 in Carimo, but a downgrade in starting overall. After that, though, we've got Wayne Rooney, United's number 10, seemingly, at the moment. He was 86 at the start of FIFA 16. I don't see any reason to upgrade or downgrade him, to be honest. I think this one is set in stone, realistically, to stay at 86. He's not had one of his best seasons, but still, I don't think quite bad enough to deserve a downgrade. He did have that really dry spell in the middle of the season, but apart from that, he's been pretty decent at least. So I've left him at 86, and again, of course, with the potential to stay at 86 because he's not going to grow in career mode. But in contrast to that, the 2 strikers after that, Antony Maciel is the first. He was 77 at the start of FIFA 16, giving him the potential to grow by 4. Giving him a growth of +4 to FIFA in terms of starting overall for FIFA 17. Although he did get a January upgrade to 79, and then potential to grow by a further 6 in career mode to 87 potential, which is pretty high, to be honest with you. But again, he's performed really well. That goal against Liverpool was stunning in his first game. He's performed really well this season, not as consistently as he probably could have done, though he's been starting out on the left for some reason recently. But if he played up front, I think he probably would have been a lot better this season in terms of regularly. After that, though, probably the hardest one to predict in this entire squad, that is Marcus Rashford, who didn't actually have an Ultimate Team card at the start of FIFA 16, still doesn't, but I've gone in terms of the growth from his first appearance in career mode, at which he was 61 overall back in December, and I promoted him by 14 in comparison to that, to 75. Which is a lot, let's be honest. That's very high. I decided to be positive on this one instead of sort of be quite negative in his overall. I was tempted to give him 74, but I went with 75 and a gold card in the end, and potential to grow by 86, in career mode, but +14 growth. That's insane. Drop your thoughts on Marcus Rashford's overall prediction in the comment section. What you guys think he'll be, because I'm sure there'll be some very varying opinions on that one. But in the background now, you are seeing the squad as I've predicted it. Obviously, a lot of change from the squad as it was at the start of FIFA 16, which you are now going to see in contrast on the screen now. And of course, the main changes are up front, mainly for Rashford, but also for Martial, who's grown by 4 from the start of FIFA 16, though he did have a winter upgrade. Same for Smalling at the back, and then the likes of Blind, Shaw, and De Gea going up, and then also the likes of Schweinsteiger and Depay going down. Now, however, it is time to move on to the fringe players, the bench players, if you like, or the slightly less interesting ones, if you like. First of all is the backup goalkeeper, that's Sergio Romero. He was 76 at the start of FIFA 16, and I've left him with the same potential as well, so I've given him a prediction of 76 again, and also the potential to be 76 throughout the whole of career mode too. After that is Phil Jones, who's had a pretty injury-struck season, but I decided not to give him a downgrade because I don't think we've seen anything that would suggest he should get a downgrade. He was 80 at the start of FIFA 16, therefore I predicted him to be 80 again next season, and with the potential to grow by 1 or 2 in career mode. After that is Paddy Mcnair, who's featured a little bit in terms of that youngsters revolution that we had back in like January, February for United. Paddy Mcnair has gone to the Euros, of course, with Northern Ireland, so I promoted him by 4 from 65 to 69. Left him with a fairly low potential as far as things go, because I don't think we've seen anything that would suggest he's going to be an outright star in the future, but 81 is still higher by 2 than his potential on FIFA 16. After that is Faso Menzer, the Dutch left-back, who featured a little bit towards the end of the season, not too much, but he looked very, very promising indeed. I've given him a +5 from when he first appeared in career mode, mode, because again, like Rashford, he didn't have an Ultimate Team card at the start of the game. So I've gone for his first appearance in career mode, at which he was 64. So I've given him +5 from 64 to 69, so he's now a silver card. And then the potential of 83, because he looked very, very promising in the games that he played. After that, we've got some pretty boring ones, in all honesty. Michael Carrick, who was 80 at the start of FIFA 16. I've left him at 80 and the potential to have 80 as well. Decent season once again, but I don't see any reason to get an upgrade or a downgrade. After that is Ander Herrera, who I was toying with the idea of giving him a downgrade. I'm sure a few of you in the comment section will, because he hasn't featured too much this season or been anything like as good as he was last year. But I have left him at 81 with a lot of thought, but I could easily see him getting 80 as well. And I've left him with the potential to grow by 1 or 2 in career mode as well. Then we've got Antonio Valencia, who was 79 at the start of FIFA 16. I've left him at 79 again, and of course he's slightly aging, so I've left him with the potential of 79 once again. And then another player who's staying the same, that is Ashley Young, who was 80 overall, I do believe, at the start of FIFA 16, and I've left him again for 80 overall for FIFA 17, and then of course the potential to be at 80 in career mode, because he's not going to grow once again like the players before him in career mode. But now in terms of changes, Marin Fellaini, who was 78 at the start of FIFA 16, has had a quite dreadful season. Even United fans were really questioning why he was not only starting games but still at the club. So I've gone for a downgrade of him by 1. I think a few of you might even be harsher than that. But I've gone for 77 from 78 at the start of FIFA 16 and a potential of 77. Then Jesse Lingard, who was 69 right at the start of FIFA 16. He did have an upgrade to 71 and of course got a man of the match card for winning United the FA Cup at Wembley. I've promoted him by a further 3 from 71 to 74, which makes a total of +5 in terms of overall growth. And then potential of 83. Don't think he's quite as good a prospect as the likes of Rashford or Depay or Martial, but still a decent prospect nonetheless, and I've given him 83 potential. And then finally, a new signing at United, Eric Bailly from Villarreal. I haven't watched much of Spanish football, but according to Spanish pundits, this kid has been very good. He was 71 at the start of FIFA 16, then got a January upgrade to 77. I have upgraded him by a further 2 to 79. Of course, he's pretty young, he's like 22, so I've given him a potential to grow by a further 6 to 85, though realistically it might be something more like 84. I don't know, it'll be anything in that sort of bracket. But again, for the guys that have been watching Spanish football maybe more than me, drop your thoughts on Eric Bailly's prediction in the comments section as well. But that does just about wrap up today's video. A lot of players we've gone through just then, more than any other predictions video that we've done. If you did enjoy, feel free to hit the likes button, subscribe if you're new around here as well. You can follow me on Twitter, my handle is @theofficialfng, and subscribe. Have I said to subscribe? If you want, subscribe again, I think I said that already. But if you enjoyed the video that much, then feel free to leave a comment, and also leave your suggestions on Manchester United predictions as well. Next up is Southampton, because they finished 6th in the BPL. But until then, have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Nah, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's not me. Sex in the yo, nah, that's not me.